Hi, I'm the Malt Activist, and I have something very special for you today. The Balvenie Tun 1401. For those of you who know me, know that I'm a huge fan of Balvenie and an even bigger fan of their malt master, Sir David Stewart. And the one thing David Stewart does better than probably anybody in the business is craft an almost flawless nose every single time. So, every Balvenie you know is just exquisite. And there's very few Balvenies that I've come across that have, let me down. There are a couple, mind you, but by and large, they've always produced very above average spirit, in my opinion, something that really caters to my taste profile and that I love. Of all the Balvenies though, the one that I really covet is this 1401, and I know I had to go through a lot in trying to locate a bottle of this when it first came out, because it just sold out immediately. And I was lucky enough to get hold of batch 8. I think it's one of the better ones. I've had a few. I've had batch 5, batch 4, equally stunning in my opinion, but I think there's something about the batch 8 that I think pips it for me when compared to the others that I've had. Mind you, I've not had all of them. So what is the Tun 1401? Well, it's a mixture of 12 different casks put together in a huge vat called the 1401. It's actually a ton, and in it are 9 bourbon barrels. All the numbers you see are written over here on the label, which is very cool. So I love transparency. So there's 9. It says traditional whiskey casks, so it means bourbon barrels. So there's 9 bourbon barrels in here, and there's 3 sherry butts. I don't know if they were all emptied at the same time, all of them, or they were split up in different ratios. I'm not really sure of that. But what I do know is that these 12 casks were put in this big vat called the Tun, and they were left to marry for 3 months, or get to know each other, as someone said, for 3 months before being bottled at a nice 50.2%. Oh my God. This is just... Check that out. That's what it looks like. It's non-chill filtered, and there's no coloring added. Such a nice deep, it's like almost like rum, dark rum. The color, and the nose. Even though there's like 3 sherry butts in there compared to 9 bourbon barrels, the sherry influence is so strong. It's so crisp, so wonderfully crisp, and it's just Christmas cake all over. It's like cinnamon and nutmeg and chocolate brownie and dark chocolates, and this unmistakable rose petal, this rose water, like this dark dry rose. I love that. Now it settles down, it becomes more leathery, slightly more woody. You get the dry spices coming in as well. Lots of raisins, lots of figs. But the note that sets this one apart is that dry rose petal note. That is just captivating. It's like you being in a rose garden in autumn. This is one of those whiskeys that you have to sit with for like hours and hours at end, and if you're lucky with a friend who is equally passionate about such rare gems and who can just appreciate the finer nuances of this particular expression. So nice. I could spend the entire video just sitting and nosing this. so beautiful. Ooh, wow. Medium body delivery, quite spicy but aromatic spicy, so lots of cloves. That's very upfront, as is the dry cinnamon, the star anise, the nutmeg, and then mid palate it becomes more fruity, more dates, more raisins. And then on the slightly sweeter side, both dark chocolate, milk chocolate, and the finish is nice and long, very warming. More dry spices, cinnamon and clove, black tea. Overall a wonderfully balanced dram, which is a testament to what Sir David Stewart has been able to do with Balvenie. And this one is just so remarkable. I'm like literally drooling at the mouth. Again, that aftertaste of rose water right at the end. Ooh, now some cigar box tobacco aftertaste. I've had this one before. I opened it up for a good friend of mine who was visiting, and we shared a dram together. He was equally passionate about it, and I'm glad I opened it with him. And the thing is, you have to sit with this for at least an hour to really, really appreciate the finer nuances that this whiskey has. Still changing, still evolving. Now there's lavender. Wow, this is one of the most complex whiskeys you'll ever drink. I think they're impossible to find now, maybe on auction at stupid prices. So I guess I was lucky that I managed to get a couple of bottles when I did. So thank you for joining me as I reviewed this wonderful whiskey. I'm the Malt Activist. Until next time, peace.